good Easter break. Got lots done around the house, I'm sure. First of all, this morning, we did this last week, Daryl wasn't here, so I just want to welcome Daryl on behalf of everyone here. As said last week, he's here for an overall look at the business, focusing around switching and safety. He's kind of here for 10 weeks, so you'll see him around doing audits quite a lot. So make him feel welcome, which we will. Do the same thing on that?
No, not really. Just do what you always do. No jumping down the bushes. Just be open conversations. Most of the answers, if we're looking for them, people have got them anyway. So it's just we'll just work through whatever issues we find. Just have probably lots of discussions.
So next on the list we've got some customer compliments. So Josh Rents, Leanne, Joyce, Leo, Jansen, Colin Fuss, Ram, Reese and Bruce. Thanks Josh and Leanne for keeping our team updated on cancer works so customers are in the loop. It clearly pays off when customers can see we are thinking of on Twitter. Lead customer communication. I'm not sure where these were put on Yammer or something, I suppose. So I'm not sure what job that is. You guys will have no idea, but access to work sites and offices being set up in substations. So hopefully we're all aware now, but we keep hearing about people just entering work sites, depots. So don't do that at all. They should have signs in the depots. So give them a ring if you've got to go there for whatever reason. But to add to that, substations like field service substation maintenance, field service substation construction, and Edmonton substation maintenance have set up offices in certain subs. So they should have signs at the gates as well to ring up. There is a list here, but there's not, so I'm not going to read them all out. If you've got to go to a sub, just check the signs, and you should be able to see if someone's there anyway. And just don't enter without ringing them. So we've got switching alert 443, transport cables at C2534, which Darryl had a bit of a look at and he's going to go through this morning.
On the 5th of April, planned switching was carried out to realign a pad mount transformer on the Ingle Farm 11 kV feeder, which comes out the Ingle Farm sub. During isolation, the crew carrying out a switching item to earth cables at C2534 CB3 to isolate transformer 201. When the crew operated the earthing switch, the source CB back at the sub tripped, causing a loss of supply to the whole feeder. Initial investigations indicate that the cables are transposed in the cubicle. Unplanned switching program was created to restore supply to the feeder, and the original switching job was cancelled. Just on checking with the local depot, which was Holden Hill, a few things are interesting about the initial sort of discussions and information they found. One, it was an F&G cubicle. It seems like the testing to prove dead was performed incorrectly or wasn't performed at all. The testing device they used, we can only assume was one of the thin black testers, not the old square boxes. But they had recently had them, their whole depot, all that equipment tested, and a number of them failed. So if you're using those, please confirm that they work before you rely on them as a test unit. The other thing that's really interesting is the two people involved were very experienced and respected switchers. So there seems to be a lot more to this that we don't really understand. But again, never assume your test equipment works until you prove it, and always work independently of the checker and operator. So it hasn't been investigated, so these were just the initial findings. Obviously they had to put the feeder back on, so they had to do some investigation. But when more becomes available, I'll let you know.
Thanks, Darryl. Next one, safety alert 863, third party low voltage shock. Come on, Ian.
Alright, it is a red alert. It has happened mid-March. There was a third party received an electric shock while completing hydrovac operations near live low voltage cables at the pole footing. The third party at the time was exposing the flexible conduits with a wooden handled shovel while standing on them in wet boots and unaware it was damaged. The third party received an electric shock and was taken to hospital by his leader for medical assessment, where he was later discharged. The outcome, upon investigation, a split in the flexible conduit leading from the pole was found obscured by sand and with 150 volts present on the 150 mm cable inside. The insulation was also found damaged on the cable, which combined it with water from the hydrovac, resulting in a hazardous work area. Some of the actions. So over recent weeks, there have been multiple instances where third-party shocks have resulted from unsafe work being completed around SA Power Networks underground infrastructure. It is essential for all access permit issuer to check with third-party providers and understand the operating restrictions set out in NICC 404. I have to look that up, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that is. Prior to an access permit being issued, this includes requirements for hydrovac operations, restrictions, figure 1, hydrovac. So figure 1 is hydrovac operations near live cables. So I guess even we don't issue many access permits, but if you are out with the hydrovac operators and they are exposing around live cables, just make sure you expose everything properly. Don't go standing on stuff. If it's alive, make sure everyone's aware on site that it is alive. Some of the comments, managers and leaders are to replace a computer safety alert on the notice boards. Cool.
Thanks, Rob. Next up, we got a near miss that was reported. Sebastian was involved in this one, so you can go through it.
This was reported by me. I was like putting some ice in my drink container, and in the process of adding ice, the plastic bag broke at the bottom and it spread all ice over the ground. This ice was on the doorway, creating a slipping hazard for any person walking in from outside, not knowing it was there. So I did not clean it up and worked away. And I was involved in making it clear that the walking away from hazard will not be tolerated. So the suggestion was that all slip hazards should be dealt with immediately, and a hazard identifying using bollards, which is head and with slipping when the wet sign attached, with the wet sign attached.
Thanks, Sebastian. You clean up after yourself if you want. Don't leave a hazard, someone else to step up. Pretty straightforward. Just another reminder, flu shots this Friday. If you haven't already got your name to Julia and you do want to, I know there's still spare spots, so sing out. They'll be here from 7, I believe, 7 to 7:30, so we'll be in the first lot, and the South will obviously be in the second lot. Spare car split, so Evans Hilux, which is here somewhere, is going to be used by the North, and the spare Isuzu is going to be by the South. If you need another vehicle, one of the Sixers or myself or Justin, should be available as well. We're just trying to make that split as well. So you wear that green, or you wear it wear. So what we're going to do, you can control the keys for that, the Hilux, and other people can use it obviously, but just so we know it's staying on the one side. Other than that, just because we're the first crew this next couple of weeks, if you're going to be late, give your Six a call, because they'll just make sure that the southern suckers aren't here in the way, so we're not going to be mixing with them. Alright? So, if you 3, obviously, well, 2:33 if you're going to get back head off the truck. If you're going to be 3:34, just give them a call, just make sure it's all good. That's about all I got. Thanks.